All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome. So, today, yesterday, technically, we got the new Kahl mission, which is the new Junk Run Kahl mission. I'll be honest, it is very similar to the first mission, except for this one is Grenier, and we get a few different items. There's some remixes on the things that we need to do. But it's pretty similar. We are going to run through it, however, and also we have this handy map, which is fairly useful. This is from the Reddit. I'm not completely confident that it is actually every single spawn, but it seems pretty good, and it is the best thing that we have right now, and it's pretty comprehensive. So we're going to run through the entire thing and to talk about this mission and what I think of it. Also, I need to finish the Gene Stamp Collection challenge anyway, so it'll be a good time to do so. So, Junk Run. It is the Grenier version of the mission that we did last time, which means that we are going to be playing as Kahl. We need to rescue prisoners, collect Gene Stamps. There is, camera puzzle stuff to do, and then we're going to fight a big boss at the end. So, we are going to be doing all of the objectives, including the Thumper parts. The Thumper parts, thankfully, is not like Chipper's collection, which is just like randomly wherever. It is always in the same spot, luckily. And I feel like the challenges in here are generally a bit better.
Probably.
Okay, so a thing that's worth noting is if we look at the map right here, we have this back area. This back area is nothing. All of this area back here that is on the map is nothing. So if you look at our image, you spawn here. That's where you spawn, so we're going to be starting from there for reference for everybody, if you were curious. So we're going to run up over onto this side first, check our first Gene Stamp location. It's this Grenier body. There is not one. We have the camera puzzle. Not much of a puzzle. This is just like kind of the tutorial, but again. Then we do have our Narmer looking for you dudes. You can go in here. And then, if I get close enough, we can switch the doors here. Also, nope, up out this way. Checking, oh no, sorry, it's checking up in this other corner. If you get seen by this guy, you can just use your 3 on him like before. Checking up in here, though. Nope, we do not have the Grenier. Oh, there it is. There's a Grenier body right there. We have nothing there, though. There could be one just like in the middle here. Or one of the Grenier bodies is just like slumped right there. Then moving on into this room, we have a couple Narmer dudes, but this camera can kill both of them. Worth noting, you don't have to do this part. This is available to like put up these decoys or whatever, but it is absolutely not needed. You do not need to kill these guys in order to move on. Those guys are dead. Also a reminder, you can use WASD plus the arrow keys on your keyboard in order to move faster. Now, on the map to our left is a dead-end zone that is basically just a bunch of collectibles that can be over there. And to our right is where we're going to go first, at least for the moment, because there is an important item that is going to help us do this a whole lot faster over here. So we run up here, we have another camera. This goes to this, and we can open the door. I will note this will spawn a bunch of enemies. Also, a Gene Stamp can be right there. We're still on 0, which is really unfortunate. Yeah, once we get in here, though, we can assassinate the sentient and grab a jetpack. Also, there is a challenge that is like much harder, which is get 5 kills in 3 seconds, which can be extremely finicky. I am going to talk about how to do that one. It's a huge pain, though. Like, it's a gigantic pain. Those numbers really should be reversed. It should definitely be 3 in 5, because it can be often difficult if you don't do the nonsense I'm going to do, to even get that many enemies to show up. You can see we have the other sentients here, but we're just running past them for now. I'm not checking the all of the like Gene Stamp locations in here because I'm going to go run through this area first. Yeah, we have the jetpack, which is going to make our lives a lot easier in these much more open areas. is we can immediately boost over here to our Semacord, which I believe is up here. Oh yeah, there it is. It's slightly further than I remembered. We have our Semacord, which is right here. If you want the song for this level, you can grab that. Bunch of enemies spawning and stuff. Here's our first Ostron, as well as we can get a Grenier tag here potentially, which is on this body. Then we're still on 0 gene tags, but we're gonna head over here. There's our first gene tag. They do glow just like before. Also, a thing that's worth noting about the jetpack is if right when you hit the ground, when you would stop jetpacking, if you jump, you do get like a boost of speed you can utilize. So like, boost like that can get you some good distance. Also, we have the other, where is it at? It's over, yeah, it's over here, this cage. We have this cage here for our second Ostrons. That's 2 of our Ostrons, and we have 1 of our gene tags so far. We have 2 spots for gene tags to check left in this main room, and then 1 more of the Ostrons. Gene tag guy, I think is he in this? Yeah, there he is. He's right there. He doesn't have one. Ostron is up here. We do have the gene tag on this Grenier. Also worth noting, I'm pretty sure a gene tag can spawn in this next location, and I think it's one of the ones that's not marked on the map, but I have not seen it spawn here to confirm. And I'm pretty sure one can spawn down here. Not 100% sure. I might just be like just checking too many things on that one, but it feels like one can spawn down there. All right, moving on. All these enemies are spawning behind us. Just like mildly avoid them, you know. But yeah, that's our whole first kind of section done before we would get the jetpack normally. Then moving on through, this next like whole tile has like no spawns in it, but it does immediately cut us off to our guaranteed bonus objective. Also just a bunch of sentients. Also, for unveiling allies, they will be fighting you, but you can just use your 3 on them like you could in the first one. And even if they're fighting you, you can unveil them and add them to your squad. So you'll need to do that on 5 different enemies. I'm not going to make you sit through me doing that on all of the enemies, but it is a thing. And then we have... It's like up, I think? Yeah, right here. Yeah, there's this guy that can have another gene stamp. And then right over here is this water, which is how you're going to get your Thumper parts. Which you can see, like, the code is, like, right here, basically. So it's circle, and then the down arrow. That'll drain this. It drains it pretty slow, so keep that in mind. You'll notice I'm, like, not fighting any enemies. That's to try and get as many enemies as possible to spawn. Yeah, but you do not want the Grenier guys to stay veiled, kind of regardless. Because they have an insane amount of health. So you're not going to be able to just kill them very easily. You can use them for the challenge. You can just kill them. Kahl can just kill his brothers for the purposes of that challenge, but it is not recommended. Yeah, that is our part of the Thumper. It is always in the same spot. That one is very consistent, which is nice.
Let's shop around for something better.
Then moving on, we'll have quite a ways to go before we can see too many more things. We will have plenty of enemies to fight. Theoretically. But we do just want to skip them, though. Because you'll want to have them, like, grouped up as much as possible for whenever you get the ability to, like, kind of actually do that challenge, as opposed to having to use the Gurkata. Heading up this way. Oh, I forgot a thing. We have this here, which there can also be a gene tag down here. In the Thumper room, there's also an Ostron that I forgot about. We'll run back real quick. Unfortunate right now. Yeah, doing the little boost like this is like efficient. There we go. Here's our other Ostron. This is the one I did not click the cage on. I wish these glowed like the gene tags did, but they don't. Yeah, there's our that's our 4th Ostron, I believe, or is that our last one? Yeah, that's all of them. Yeah. There's the 2, then the one in that middle room that we grabbed, and then the far away one over here that we grabbed, and then that one back there. So yeah, that's all 5 of the Ostrons. I don't think that they move around. They're always in the same spot. There's only 5 of them that spawn. So that is good and easy. Moving on through. So one of the things that is really, really bad in this mission, though, is that for the gene tags, there are 2, at least, spawns for the gene tags in the boss room of this level, which you get locked into. So because you get locked into it, you are... Basically, if you don't know if you collected all of them from everywhere prior in the level, you won't be done with all your stuff before facing the boss. So, like, if you miss this one, for example, and then you go into the boss room thinking the last 2 are in there, or the last 1 is in there, and then it's not, and you missed it, you have to redo the entire mission. I know DE has said that they're changing that, so for everything's going to be cumulative whenever they do their next round of changes, but it is, right now, a huge pain. Yeah, then we have this, which is also just like circle and down arrow. Open that up. Luckily, there can't be anything like down below this.
Oh, looks like there's some bigger firepower for you ahead.
And we did check that previous one. So right here, this is where you can complete this challenge. They give you the Kuva Iyanga, and they spawn dudes. It's recommended that you just kind of leave like your brothers behind at this point, and just like tell them to sit somewhere. You're gonna get like all of the enemies together at any point, because otherwise they might kill them. Also, running up here, we have one of the Vernier bodies is up on this. It's this one right here, which does not have one. I'm at 3 out of 5, which is worrisome at best. Yeah, 1, 2, 3 enemies. 4 dudes. Tell them to get out and go over there. Probably even better. Yeah, some of these are Grenier, which even if they're not, even if they're like veiled still, they can still kill the sentients. Okay, here's 3. This would make it like really reasonable to do, but here's was that 1, 2 more? It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, here's 5 of them together, so that's probably doable. Yeah, so that would have done it theoretically. This is probably the best spot to do it as long as you haven't been killing enemies. But yeah, it is it's hugely annoying. Also, I'm gonna die doing that dumb challenge.
Not your time.
Yeah, don't worry, it doesn't matter because I'll just stand right back up anyway. Yeah, that would fail to like do it without dying, but like I was just trying to show the stupid kill 5 enemies challenge in that spot, which will stay completed even if you die there.
Kahl can carry.
Yeah, so we can grab this, and then hopefully the rest of our gene stamps are actually spawned into the level, because I have 0% confidence that they actually all spawn all the time. But now we get to use the Iyanga. Yeah, then over here, to shoot once at this guy. He's the boss. He'll be fighting us momentarily.
Core. That's behind armor.
Nope, and then I hit the... I touched the water with my foot once.
So much from you.
So it's gonna give me the old reset. And then over here, we have another gene stamp.
Goodbye.
So now, I'm at 4 out of 5, and the next room is the boss room. There are 2 spawns in the boss room, potentially, so I just have to hope that one is in there. And if I missed one, then fuck me, is basically the TLDR. Also, these Quokka count as enemies, so if there's one, if you shoot one sentient and then kill all 4 of those Quokka, you can also get the thing. All right, I'm gonna try it. I don't know how far away I can be for like this Thumper fight to not trigger. But should be one of these, hopefully a gene stamp over here.
There are multiple ramparts near your location. Heavy gun.
It is. Oh man,
I suggest you use
it actually is here. All right. There's all the gene stamps. And then I'll run over to the other side where the other body is as well. But yeah, the Thumper is rooting around. The TLDR with the Thumper is they give you these like gun emplacements, these ramparts, like to help fight it, but they don't help. But you can stand above it, and that does work, and that is quite good. Yeah, a Thumper is a pretty normal like encounter with a Thumper. Your AoE does work on it. So you can hit like multiple legs, but I would suggest just focusing on like one at a time, just because you're gonna have to do that eventually anyway. Yeah, and then just ignoring the sentience is advised. But yeah, you definitely don't want to go down with it because it will do constant knockdowns, and Kahl gets knocked down for 6,500 years. So you definitely do not want to go down there and tango with it, because it is mostly just a waste of time to do so. This fight is, of course, easier if you have like a bunch of your deveiled deveiled brothers to fight the sentients for you, so you don't have to think about it. But also, there's some places like this that you can stand where it's fine anyway. Also, this is like an edited hitbox on the Thumper, where it's much more generous than it usually is in terms of the hitbox, which is good because if it wasn't, then this would be like an infinite pain. Yeah, it's not too bad if you just like fly around and make sure you're like avoiding the sentient's gunfire at least a bit. Here we go. So that's down. And then we just have the one last spawn location, which is over here on the right. I forget if it's up or down now. I think it's up.
Tell me, how did you do that?
Shoot in right place. And
I forget where the body is. I think it's... That was somewhere around here. Is it down? Might be down. They're kind of hard to see because they tend to be the same color. If they don't have the actual gene tag on them, they blend in really easily with the environment. Also, I've never had to actually pick this one up. They're like up in the corner. I forget. I do not see the body. Well, regardless, if you're near it, it will have, like, glowed orange. So I'm sure you'll be able to find it if you actually get this as one of your spawns. But yeah, with that, we are done with the Kahl mission. Very similar to the first week, but instead of Corpus, it's Grineer stuff. It's nice that we get access to the jetpack, and the Ayanga's fun to use, though. I think that the boss fight is, like, very reasonable. For people that, like, don't know what the Thumpers do, it might be kind of a pain, but I don't know. I mean, this is pretty deep in to not know what a Thumper does, although I guess if you just haven't done the planes, that wouldn't be that unusual. But yeah, that's the mission. Enjoy. The map is available up on Brozime.com. The link to that is down in the, should be a pinned comment. So go check that out, use it, get the mission done, and all that good business. Yeah, not too bad. Definitely much easier than last week in terms of just finding the stuff overall. Although the gene tags, I wasn't convinced were spawning on a number of my runs, or at least not spawning all of them. But yeah, that's gonna do it. The new rewards for this week are just all of those Archon mods. So as a reminder, for the most part, the Archon mods are just generally kind of not worth it. There's some specific frames that might use them, and they do, of course, have like future potential, but these are some very expensive mods to run just in general because they all are 16 cost. So unless you're doing like, you know, if Archon Intensify has problems, I don't think it's going to be a replacement for just using Umbral Intensify. Archon Stretch, on those few electrical Warframes, for sure, you can definitely run it, but generally not suggested. Archon Continuity doesn't do enough. For 2 extra mod points, you could use it, I guess, if you're in this specific niche, because it is the same as Prime Continuity, but eh. And then Archon Flow, there's just no frames that can really take advantage of this at this point, and also the effect isn't that good anyway. Archon Vitality is the one that has the most potential if you're going to get any of these. Of course, Ember will almost certainly be using this, and there are some other Warframes that may, on like really maximized builds, want to run this as well. But yeah, in general, next week is going to be the Egret. You're going to want the Egret as a reminder, and then the week after that, we're going to start getting shards, which is going to start with blue shards. Yeah, that is going to do it for Kahl's second mission. Thanks for hanging out, and I will see you tomorrow. Also, hey everyone, we have a new outro. So, sorry this has taken a little while to get going for those of you that are over on the Patreon, but thank you so much to all of the $10+ patrons. Brutus Salazar, Dylan Dworsky, Efrain, Jeremy Stevens, Joshua Adams, Malik X. Williams, Mitchta, Trent Hallmark, Victor, and Zach Zahner. Thank you very much for being $10 patrons. And also, thank you very much to just all the patrons in general. It's been really awesome to try and get this big website stuff off the ground. And I hope you guys continue to support me and are enjoying the content that is going up there, including this video. So yeah, it's been a fantastic time so far, and hopefully we can just keep it going. Have a good one, everybody. Hopefully you guys enjoy the new outro as well. I think it came out pretty nice. And that should do it. Later, all.